Hello and welcome to the Queber channel. I'm Jason, your host. And I want to talk today about not safe for work, adult content, all those kind of things. Porn. The thing is, kind of strange to me, it's always been strange to me that a bar for violence and death and murder, allowable for people to watch and acceptable, is higher than our sexuality and our porn and that. It's like, it's always been a dichotomy of weirdness to me because one ends a life, the other celebrates life. Now, the thing is, this is going to be something that you won't hear say out there. But as far as I know, it's true. I mean, you may tell me different. It depends on how you were brought up and that. But most people became interested in adult stuff before their teenage years. And that, say that these days, but you. I remember that I started masturbating, even though I didn't know what the fuck it was, when I was probably about 9 years old. My wife told me that her first inklings of touching herself and things like that, 6 years old. I've talked to many people online about this, how different people at different ages. Now, some didn't do anything like that till they were in their 20s. But you've got this whole gamut from all the way down to there and to there. We're not supposed to talk about all that. But sexuality is part of us, part of who we are. And you can't just deny it because you created a law. You can't just stop it because someone in power says so. What happens is it goes underground, because I talk about mental health, and you yourself usually have what's called a user account. You have certain permissions in your brain, but you don't have full permissions. You're not a super user. A super user is equivalent of an admin account on a computer. Now, you as a normal user of your system don't have full access. Think about it. You lose your keys, you can't find them. And you can't pull up the memory of exactly what you did when you left it there. We don't have perfect control of our brains, of our memory and that. So we're just a user account. But one of the most powerful super user accounts is your libido. Like they say, never make a fucking important decision when you're horny. Just don't. You'll regret it. We've all been in that position. We've all been in the position where we've been horny and we've made a decision, whether a life-changing decision in a relationship to, we didn't have any condoms at the time, or other things. And this is just how life is. We need to accept this kind of thing. It'll never be polite conversation, but it is true. And this allows you to understand something, that on the one hand, and everything in moderation, one of the greatest non-medication ways to help yourself out of depression or a bad anxiety loop and that is an orgasm. Is the chemicals that get flooded into your brain, the distraction of whatever it takes to get to that point, can draw away the energy from anything else in your fucking brain. And everybody's different. So all this online safety stuff, which has started to shut down places, because it hasn't just this online safety bill isn't protecting children, because children will always find a way. They will always find a way into it. But it has started to cause a lot of those places out there where I would go looking for hentai games and things like that to close their doors to the UK. Now, I want to be something very specific on this, because I will happily buy an adult game. I find a lot of the adult games that I buy to be far deeper and more depth to them and stories in that than a lot of the non-adult game. My brain has a weird approach to it. When I think of an adult game, I don't like the ones that are just what they call fap fest, ones for just a quick fix. I like an adult game where there's a story, where there's a plot, where there's actual decisions, where there's a long-term relationship, where there's consequences, where there's choices that you have to make. That I find interesting. I also find that these days I don't find a fantasy game or most RPG games to be realistic if they don't have sex in them. You're missing out an entire part of the universe. It's like in fucking one of my big peeves about Star Trek. You never see them go to the bathroom. You never fucking see them go to the bathroom and go toilet. Has something happened in the century that they're in where they no longer need to take a shit? I don't know, but you never see it happen. And to me, that makes it realistic. I can deal with phases, I can deal with warp speed, I can deal with all the monsters and that, but the simple basic act of things brings me to Skyrim. My version of Skyrim at the moment is using an adult mod pack. I have two versions of Skyrim actually. I've got a GOG version. I modified that myself, good old games version, and I have a Bethesda Steam. I have a Steam version which I mod via the VRchat mod system. So I can have two different mod packs going at once. And it's still one of my favourite games because you can make, and both my mod packs on it are adult in nature. And the reason is not that I want to have sex in the game, not that I want it for porn, because there being sex in the game makes the game more realistic. Most of the time in that game, I play a character who is traumatized and left home because her parents were complete bastards, or her uncle tried to get it on with her, some kind of backstory like this. And she goes through life and basically she becomes a serial killer. She becomes a hunter. She becomes a bounty hunter. She becomes someone who rights the wrong. She becomes someone who any fucking man or woman who tries it on with her, and she will cut their dicks off or stick them on a pike. That's the way I play the characters. So I can play an entire playthrough. In fact, my friends on Discord can actually attest to this, that we've got a Not So Safe for Work channel where I now and then stream up my Skyrim thing, but you never see my character have sex in the game of Skyrim, even though there are so many sex mods built into my game, because my character intelligently avoids contact with humans. In fact, my last character that I played, we had all the mods in there that allowed you to have sex with animals. Oh my god, it's bad, it's fictional. Get alive, it's fictional. Because one of the things that I've always found amusing is this idea of Dragonsborn. How exactly did Dragonsborn come about? Just like in AD&D, when you ever look at all those half race things, and how exactly did that come about? Oh, it was magic. No, no, it was fucking someone. So the idea of all of this comes out. I mean, when you look at the history of something like Skyrim and you see how dark elves were created by torture and darkness in all different races, there's a lot of darkness and sick stuff in those past if you dig into the lore. So my last character had sex with a dragon because she thought, hey, if I'm going to have a baby, I'm going to have a fucking dragon turning into a follower, and then that follower can be my bride and that whole thing. So that's what her aim was, to find a dragon and hump it. Didn't work out so well. There's a story behind that. As with all my ADHD and I get distracted, my character ended up in a far different place. That's the thing. What ifs? It's RPG. It doesn't affect real life. Everybody has their own kinks. Everybody has their own likes. It does. I can tell you now, it doesn't matter what you like or what you are into. You are not alone. You might think, I mean, the thing is, if you come from a background where when you first start exploring these things and you don't have any input from the outside and it's before the internet, it's pretty actually normal for you to think you're the only one in the world who is you're the only one in the world who's doing these things. You are the only one in the world who likes this specific kink. Until you meet the world and the internet and 4chan and Reddit and realize that everybody's doing it. I realize that your parents must have done it. That's all. It totally grosses some people out, the thought that their parents actually may have actually had a sex life before they came into existence. Life. It's life affirming, love affirming. It's a deep connection. But if you don't have a relationship, I've been through that. I don't really want another relationship. I don't want to go through that. Sometimes I get lonely and I think, hey, but then I think, really comfortable with all my coping strategies alone. I don't want to bring someone else into that mix just for no reason. And it makes life interesting. It does. But all these online safety bills are telling you what you can and can't do and all it does, it doesn't, if you're into certain things, you've found a fictional outlet for it. And for anybody who says, oh my God, we can't allow you to have sex with the dragons, that's bestiality, would make you want to do it in real life. Well, you find me a dragon in real life. You turn me into a female, because my character was always female in Skyrim. Like most people, we started with female characters in Skyrim because clothing was fucking, and we went from there. But yeah, I do use it to explore my female side. You try to think, what would my character do in these situations? It's a good what if. But it's still, it's kind of weird that we look down and taboo sexuality so damn much when every fucking person on the planet is here because of sex. And everybody in the planet has a libido. Sovereign corporations and government try to control. Religions try to control and tell you what's taboo, what's not. They want to control. But I still say one of the best things to help with depression and so on is have sex with your girlfriend or your husband, or look after yourself. And let's not forget, for guys, masturbating as you get older will help keep prostate cancer. So that's another thing. It's actually healthy for your body to do these things. So, a little bit distracted now because my cup has webbing on. Better in the kitchen. Easy for me to get distracted. The worst thing about sexuality in that is the taboo, the guilt, the part that makes you feel like you're doing something wrong. I've always believed that as long as no one gets hurt, as long as sensual between, and as long as it doesn't become an addiction, you do too much of it like anything, then yeah, we need to stop demonizing it. We really do. Oh, there's Akikins. Well, aren't you? So I will say bye bye for now, you special people. Yeah. So you go squeak squeak.